Miguel Lahera was born on July 19, 1988, in Cienfuegos, a city in the central region of Cuba. Growing up in a country where baseball is the national pastime, Miguel was surrounded by a deep love for the sport from a young age. His father, who was an avid baseball fan, and his family encouraged his passion for the game. Lahera began playing baseball at the age of 5, and by the time he was a teenager, his talent became evident. From the beginning, Lahera showed promise as a pitcher, and his strong arm and ability to control the ball quickly caught the attention of local coaches. His early years in baseball were marked by determination and hard work, and he quickly rose through the ranks of Cuba's youth baseball system. By the time he was 14 years old, Lahera was already being noticed by coaches as one of the most talented young pitchers in his region. At 16, Lahera joined the Cuban junior national team and played in several international competitions, gaining experience and further developing his skills. These early experiences helped him grow into a pitcher capable of handling the pressure of top-level competitions, even though he was still in his teenage years. His performances on the mound, characterized by poise and composure, earned him recognition as one of the top young prospects in Cuba. By the age of 19, Lahera joined the Cuban National Series, Cuba's top professional baseball league, where he began his journey as a professional pitcher. He initially played for Cienfuegos, the team from his hometown, before becoming a key player for several teams in the league. His early years in the National Series allowed him to sharpen his skills and gain experience facing some of the best hitters in Cuba. Rise to prominence. Establishing himself in the Cuban National Series. Lahera's big break came in 2008, when he had his first full season in the Cuban National Series. The Cuban National Series is renowned for its high level of competition, with teams from across the country competing for supremacy in one of the strongest leagues in the world. Lahera, then 20 years old, quickly made an impression with his consistent performances as a starting pitcher. His fastball, changeup, and slider were all effective. But it was his ability to remain calm under pressure and execute pitches in crucial moments that set him apart. By his third season in the National Series, Lahera had established himself as one of the top pitchers in the league. His ability to dominate opposing batters with a combination of speed and accuracy made him one of the most feared pitchers on the island. In the 2010-2011 season, Lahera truly reached new heights, finishing with a stellar ERA, earned run average, of 2.39. His strikeout rate and low whip, walks plus hits per inning pitched, made him a nightmare for opposing hitters, and his poise on the mound made him a valuable asset to his team. Lahera's success continued throughout his time in the Cuban National Series, as he developed a reputation as one of the top pitchers in the league. His control and composure allowed him to consistently get batters out, and he regularly found himself in the starting rotation of his team. As one of the most promising pitching talents in Cuba, Lahera began to be recognized both domestically and internationally as a future star. However, despite his domestic success, Lahera's career was also influenced by the political and economic landscape in Cuba, which limited the opportunities for players to compete at a global level. Despite this, Lahera remained committed to playing for Cuba's national team in international tournaments and competing in the highly competitive Cuban National Series. Career peak. International success and dominance in the Cuban League. Lahera's career reached its peak in the early 2010s, as he continued to excel in both the Cuban National Series and on the international stage. In 2011, he was invited to join the Cuban national team for the World Baseball Classic, WBC, an international competition that showcased the top baseball talent from around the globe. His selection to the WBC was a clear indication of his rising prominence in the baseball world. At the 2013 World Baseball Classic, Lahera showcased his immense talent on the international stage. Though Cuba did not win the tournament, Lahera's performances on the mound were one of the standout features of the team. He pitched with remarkable composure and effectiveness, solidifying his reputation as a pitcher who could compete at the highest level. During this period, Lahera was widely regarded as one of the top pitchers in Cuba, and his career reached new heights as he helped lead Cienfuegos to multiple successful seasons. His dominant performances continued to earn him individual accolades, and he was often named to the all-star teams of the Cuban National Series. He continued to post impressive numbers, with low ERAs and high strikeout rates. Lahera was recognized as a force on the mound, and his performances became a key reason for the success of his team. His career peak, however, came in 2014, when Lahera was named the Cuban National Series MVP. He dominated throughout the season, posting one of the best pitching records in the history of the league. His fastball was clocked in the mid-90s, and his ability to generate strikeouts was unmatched. Lahera's reputation grew beyond the borders of Cuba, and he became a highly sought-after player by professional teams around the world. In addition to his individual success, Lahera's leadership and ability to pitch in high-pressure situations helped his team win several Cuban National Series titles. His performances during the playoffs were particularly noteworthy, as he consistently delivered in clutch moments. Whether it was in a must-win game or in the championship series, Lahera rose to the occasion, further cementing his status as one of the best pitchers in Cuba. Main achievements. Lahera's career has been marked by several remarkable achievements. Cuban National Series MVP, 2014. Lahera's standout season in the Cuban National Series earned him the MVP award, solidifying his status as one of the premier pitchers in Cuban baseball history. Cuban National Series All-Star selections. Lahera was named to the Cuban National Series All-Star team multiple times during his career, highlighting his consistent excellence on the mound. Cuban national team member. Lahera represented Cuba in multiple international tournaments, including the World Baseball Classic, WBC, and the Pan American Games. He played an important role in Cuba's success at these events, showcasing his talent on a global stage. Multiple Cuban National Series titles. Lahera was instrumental in his team's success, helping lead Cienfuegos to multiple league titles during his career. Final years and legacy. After his peak years in the early 2010s, Lahera's career began to shift. As he entered his 30s, his role in the Cuban National Series and on the Cuban national team started to change. Though his dominance on the mound continued to be evident, Lahera's effectiveness began to decrease slightly as injuries began to take a toll on his body. Despite this, he remained a valuable player, known for his leadership and experience. Lahera's final years in Cuba saw him transition to a more mentorship role, passing on his knowledge to younger pitchers while continuing to contribute as a starting pitcher. However, his dream of playing in Major League Baseball, MLB, never materialized, as the political barriers that prevented Cuban players from defecting continued to affect his career. In the later years of his career, Lahera was known for his resilience and his ability to adapt to new circumstances. His love for the game and commitment to his team remained evident, even as he faced the challenges of aging and physical limitations. As of 2023, Lahera announced his retirement from professional baseball, ending an illustrious career in the Cuban National Series. He left behind a legacy as one of Cuba's top pitchers of his generation. His accomplishments and impact on Cuban baseball will be remembered for years to come. And his name remains synonymous with excellence on the mound. Though his time in the spotlight has come to an end, Lahera's legacy as one of the most successful pitchers in Cuban baseball history is secure. His contributions to the sport, both domestically and internationally, have earned him a place among the greats of Cuban baseball. His dedication to the game, his work ethic, and his leadership will continue to inspire future generations of Cuban players.